In this video, I'm gonna be discussing with you guys why I believe 20% body fat for most men is actually the biggest danger zone that you can be in right now. And this is actually a position that a lot of our guys start at. They come to us at probably around 18%, sometimes around that 20%, just over. Obviously, we have guys that come to us much heavier as well, but I believe that this 20% zone is actually a bit of a comfortable trap that a lot of guys get themselves into, where it's not like you're in the worst position in the world. You know, you're not really overweight, you're not really out of shape. Like if you're like 30+% body fat, you know that you need to make a change. You know, you look at yourself, you've got too much fat and you think, I need to change. I'm in a position where this is just not comfortable. I'm unhealthy. If I don't fix this, I am going to give myself an early deathbed. Whereas when you get to 20% body fat, guys, this is actually a position where a lot of guys would be deemed as healthy. Like you go to a doctor, if you're 20%-ish body fat, they're probably gonna put you down as being healthy. That is not the standard that I believe most guys should be at. Okay, 20% is still where you probably look at yourself in the mirror, you've got this little bit of fat, your energy levels aren't amazing, and you kind of just downplay it as, yeah, you know, I'm okay, like I'm all right. When is that being the standard for guys? When is being okay in an all right position being the standard? Okay, you look at other guys that are leaner, that you can see their abs, have got the lean athletic physiques, and you want to look like them. Like we're guys, we look at other guys sometimes and we think, I would like to look like that. I would like to be leaner. I would like to get rid of this body fat. Why would you not want to achieve that? Being at 20% body fat just puts you in this kind of stuck, comfortable position, which I just don't believe is what men are destined for. But it's almost not quite enough pain for you to really go and want to take the action, which is a lot of guys do, which is great. I hope if you're watching this video, that is one of you as well. But you're just in this position where like life's kind of okay. It's all right. You're not super out of shape. If you wear the right clothing, you look okay. You can kind of tuck away the belly fat and it's not a massive problem. But this is just not the standard. Like we should be shooting for elite level standards of being in the best possible shape that we can be in, the healthiest that we can be, where we can live the longest, where hormonally we're in the best possible place, where we look the best, taking our shirt off, we're confident all the time. That is what I believe guys are destined for. So being stuck at around 20% body fat, I just think it puts you in this little trap of it's okay, it's not too painful, but it's not painful enough for you to want to make a change. And then years and years and years can kind of go by, or you commit to a plan for a bit and then you stop because again, the pain's not always high enough. And this is a place that guys just get stuck at. You know, you actually can lose that first, but you get guys that maybe they start around 30% body fat. They are quite, again, we're big, we know we need to lose weight. They eat, they move more, they eat a little bit less food, and the weight just naturally comes off. Like it's not that complicated when you're a bigger guy to lose weight. You can kind of get away with eating a little bit healthier. You don't even really need to be lifting weights. You should be lifting weights, but you obviously can just lose weight without. You get to a position and you then realize that things are a little bit harder, you get a little bit comfortable and you just get static. Or you're a guy that has just been at around 20% probably for years now and you just think, oh, well, this is what I'm destined for. Both of those scenarios you need to fix, and ideally you need to start pushing to really reach that full potential, okay? And this is why I believe it's such a danger zone. So let me break this down to you guys, the three kind of biggest costs that I believe that you have when you're in this position. The first one is gonna be the hormonal cost, okay? Now, when I say hormonal cost, this is where things aren't that bad, okay? Like you're not producing testosterone. You're not aromatizing badly, you know, where testosterone converts to estrogen. You haven't got terrible nutrient partitioning, or your insulin sensitivity is probably not that bad. These are all things that happen when we get very overweight, yeah? And all these things start to be, this is where we get the man boobs, because again, we're aromatizing, testosterone's converting to estrogen. You're not in the worst position, but you're not optimal. I get a lot of guys that come to me in this position and they kind of say, oh, I just feel a little bit flat, energy's okay, sex drive is okay, I'm all right. It's like, it's okay, but it's not at the best possible place that it can be. Your testosterone production is slightly more suppressed if you are 20, 22, 23% body fat. So again, hormonally, our bodies are going to respond better by getting rid of that belly fat, by being leaner. If we are around 15% body fat, which is 5% less, and don't get me wrong guys, to go from 20 to 15% body fat is not easy, but if we achieve that gap and we achieve that goal, that 5% makes such a huge difference. It really, really, really does. This is where you start to see abs. This is where your testosterone is gonna be back to kind of being optimal again. And this is where everything is going to really start to improve. And again, this is why that 20% zone can be a little bit of a comfortable place where guys get stuck. They feel okay, hormonally they're okay, but they're not in the best place that they could be, which is the gap that we're really trying to bridge. The second cost, guys, is the plateau cost. I've already gone through this a little bit already, but this is where a lot of guys get stuck, and the generic fat loss advice of eat less, move more, it stops working. This is because as you start to kind of get a little bit older, as you do get over 30, this is naturally where things like insulin sensitivity does start to naturally drop. Recovery capabilities do start to decline a little bit. This is just natural aging. It's nothing to be too concerned about. But it means that generic advice of just trying to move a little bit more, eat a little bit less, it doesn't work anymore, guys. And this is why going from 20% down to 15% or 12%, this is where it really requires actual coaching, direction, and having a proper plan. Because honestly, guys, you can wing it to get to 20% body fat. Lots of guys do. I speak to a lot of guys on calls that will say, I've already lost 10 kilos, I've already lost 2 stone, and now I'm stuck. I literally had a call with a guy yesterday that said, I've lost the same stone many times and I always get stuck in this position. Super, super common. And this is where basic calorie cutting, basic movement stops working. And a lot of guys then, they get comfortable and they get frustrated. You have to have a proven method, a proper system, and an actual structure, which will then take you from that 20% danger zone all the way down to your full potential of around 12 to 15% body fat, which is where I think a lot of guys should be at, and they should be able to sustain that level of body fat all year round. And the third cost, guys, arguably the most important one, is the compounding cost of 20% now is most likely not going to be 20% body fat in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Ask yourself this question. 3 years ago, were you the same body fat as you were now? Were you leaner? Were you lighter? Most likely, because a lot of guys that I speak to have told me that they are slowly gaining weight over the years. That compounding effect of age increasing, muscle mass declining again as a result of getting older as a guy, which means that naturally you even can eat the same amount of food, but that food is going to have a greater effect on your body because your metabolism is going to be slower, which means you're naturally going to gain weight. So it's almost like if you don't actually fix the problem at 20% might be okay right now. It might not be causing you any massive issues in life. It might not be the worst place that you could be. You might be okay, but that 20% will compound, guys. You don't fix the problem and you don't get on top of things and you don't start understanding how to, get the last bit off, start training in the right way, start how to eat properly. That 20% becomes 25% in a few years. Then that 25% becomes 30%. And we start compounding body fat very quickly. And then you get to a much greater danger zone, potentially, rather than being at 20% body fat where you might feel like you're okay, you're comfortable, things aren't at the worst possible place. And this is why this comfort trap is the worst place you can be. An easy way that you can test this, guys, is I know getting body fat percentage checked is not an easy measure, right? If you can take your shirt off right now, go and look in the mirror. If you cannot see, and don't suck in, don't tense, don't do anything, go and look in the mirror. And if you cannot see, any real form of definition, you haven't really got any kind of noticeable vascularity, any real veins, and you have got no real noticeable slight of your abs, you are probably at the 20% danger zone right now. And I'm not saying having a massive belly, I'm saying no real clear definition, abdominals are not obvious in any way. You're probably exactly that guy right now, stuck in that 20% danger zone, which is where we need to really fix. And the reason why so many guys stay here, like I say, guys, is that there's just often not enough of a driving force there to really change it. Guys say stuff like, oh, I'll fix this when life calms down. When is life ever gonna calm down? Oh, it's not that bad, I just need to tighten up a little bit. How many times have you said that? I need to tone up a little bit, just a little bit of that, I need to go. Again, this is another classic thing that guys say which keeps them stuck for another year, another 2 years at 20% body fat. Or I've tried diets before, they never stick. Again, there's not enough drive and consistency there for them to really push through. Because again, to bridge that gap from 20% down into kind of your 15%, you need a better structure. You need actual proper guidance and plan to be able to go and push to that level. And if any of those things sounded exactly like you, that is not a coincidence. This is what most guys say to themselves who are stuck at 20% body fat and will be for another year from now and another year after that. So lastly, guys, how do we fix that? I'm not gonna go through an entire strategy on this video. This is more about awareness, and this is more about you actually understanding that being where you are right now if you are in this position, it is a genuine danger zone. You need to do something about it. You need to fix it. I'm all for high performance with guys reaching elite levels in all areas of their lives, and 20% body fat is not an elite level in my opinion. But in terms of the fix here, guys, this is where you need to focus on proper structure and proper routine. You cannot wing yourself down to 15% body fat, 12% body fat. It will not happen. Okay, like I said, the gap that we can bridge from around 30 down to 20, a lot of guys can probably somewhat do this themselves and manage to get there. Stay there is a different story, but they might manage to lose a little bit of fat. But to get down to the next level, this is where we need proper structure, guidance, and probably some accountability, guys. I'm gonna be honest, like to really push your body down even more. Guys think they can go and find the perfect plan on ChatGPT and work all this out for themselves. The information is out there, guys. Of course it is. If you look at my YouTube channel and watch all the videos, you'll probably be able to put together some sort of plan. I literally have done videos on how to go from 20% body fat to 12% body fat. I've done videos on that, but videos aren't always enough. This is where we need proper guidance, looking at your situation, your routine, what you do day to day, your lifestyle, and building out a custom approach that will work around that and actually holding you accountable so you stick to it. That is clearly the most important one, because accountability is what a lot of guys genuinely do need. So if this sounds interesting to you, this YouTube channel is purely me giving you value. This is not for me to try and sell my services at all. As you can probably see, I hardly ever talk about my coaching that much on here. But genuinely, if you are in a position right now and you are a guy and you are stuck and you feel that you have been stuck at 20% body fat for a long time or even higher than that, this is where so many of our guys come from. I cannot tell you how many guys we've helped that have been in that exact position where they're a little bit podgy, a bit skinny fat, and they know they're destined for so much more. And we have fixed that problem and got them in incredible shape for life and actually shown them the cheat code of how to stay there as well. It is exactly what we do and what we're very, very good at FitLab. I will leave a link below so you can book in a free call with me and we can just simply have a chat and map this out. If things are a good fit, amazing, we can talk through the plan. If it doesn't feel like it's a great fit, either way, you're gonna get a ton of value out of the call, which is my biggest objective. And I will hopefully be able to manage to change your life in any way I can. So anyway, guys, apart from that, I hope you found this video useful. Make sure you smash the like button, make sure you subscribe for future videos. And as always, I will catch you in the next one.